All right, get ready because we're going to do a deep dive into nuclear reactor operator interview prep today. I mean, talk about a job with some serious pressure, right? You know, you shared those RoleCatcher resources with me, and they're really great. But I gotta say, it's not just about, spitting out facts. It's more about showing them how passionate you are,
Right.
that you're obsessed with safety, and that you can think on your feet faster than a chain reaction.
Absolutely. It really is all about conveying that deep understanding of just how much responsibility comes with this role. You're not just controlling a machine, you're managing these complex processes. And we're talking atomic level here. You're ensuring the safety of everyone around you, and you're also contributing to a major source of power generation.
And speaking of atomic level,
Yeah.
the career guide. Wow. That was fascinating, to say the least. You know, a nuclear reactor operator, they aren't just there flipping switches. They're literally tweaking reactivity, which means they have to understand the chain reactions happening at the core, making sure those atoms are doing their job without, causing a meltdown.
Precisely. And those chain reactions, we're talking about splitting atoms, releasing huge amounts of energy. And the operator's job is to control the rate of those reactions, keeping things stable and safe inside the reactor core.
Okay, so basically, you've got to show them you've got the brains and the guts, and that's where the interview guide is just invaluable. It's packed with those tough questions they'll throw at you. So let's just tackle them head on, shall we? Question number 1. What inspired you to pursue this career? Seems pretty straightforward, right?
It does, but it can be deceiving. Interviewers, they hear so many generic answers, loving science or wanting to save the planet. You've got to stand out from the crowd. So really think about what sparked your passion. Was it a specific event, a book you read, maybe a mentor who inspired you, or perhaps you toured a power plant once and were just blown away by the sheer scale and complexity of it all. Whatever it is, make it personal and connect it back to the impact nuclear energy has.
Exactly. Don't just say nuclear energy is important. Talk about how it provides reliable, carbon-free electricity to millions of homes, or its role in those incredible medical advancements. They want to see you've gone beyond just the textbook stuff.
And be ready for those follow-up questions. They might ask you to elaborate on your experience, or even challenge your understanding of the industry's current challenges. And the future prospects, of course. Show them you've really done your research.
All right, here's where things get really interesting. Question 2. What technical skills do you have that make you a good fit for this role? I mean, you could just list everything on your resume, but...
But that's just boring, isn't it? You want to showcase your understanding of the job itself, the actual job. The guide mentions things like critical thinking, operations monitoring, even radiation protection. So don't just say, I'm good at monitoring. Give them a scenario. Like, in my lab work, I monitored reactor pressure using X system, and I once noticed an anomaly. Here's how I assessed the situation and took action.
Boom. You've just shown them you can apply those skills in a real-world high-pressure scenario.
Exactly. And be prepared to talk about those specific control systems that are actually used in nuclear reactors. Show them you understand how these systems work and that you're capable of operating them effectively.
Okay, now take a deep breath, because question 3 is a big one. What steps would you take to ensure the safety of the reactor and its operators? This isn't just about knowing the rules, is it?
No, it goes much deeper than that. It's about showing them that safety is just a part of who you are. You live and breathe it. Think of it this way. You're responsible for the well-being of the reactor, the team, of course, and potentially even the surrounding community. They want to see that proactive mindset.
I mean, that guy talks about regular checks, radiation monitoring,
Yeah.
emergency plans.
Yeah.
But you really need to go deeper than that, right? Mention specific protocols that are relevant to the job you're applying for. So if they specialize in a certain reactor type, make sure you tailor your answer accordingly.
Exactly, and don't be afraid to get specific. Talk about radiation shielding techniques, safety interlock systems, or even how important it is to have those clear communication protocols during emergencies.
They're not just looking for someone who can follow a checklist. They want someone who understands the WHY behind every safety measure. Okay, let's move on to question 4. How do you handle stress and make decisions under pressure?
Classic, right?
It is, but remember, they're not trying to trick you. They genuinely want to see if you have the right temperament for this job. And let's be honest, we all get stressed sometimes. The key here is to show how you manage it effectively. And again, real-life examples are your best friend here.
Yeah, the guide mentions staying calm, assessing the situation, taking decisive action. So maybe you had a lab experiment go wrong, or a project deadline was looming with a critical error. Tell them what you did, not just, oh, I stayed calm.
Right, they want to hear about the steps you took, that problem-solving process you used, and how you ultimately achieved a positive outcome. Show them you can think clearly when things get tough. So we've covered passion, technical skills, and staying cool under pressure. What's next? Question 5. How do you ensure the reactor operates efficiently and D meets those production targets? This one feels like a real balancing act, don't you think?
It is, absolutely. They want to know that you're not just focused on hitting those numbers. You understand the importance of safety and sustainability, too. How do you monitor performance? How do you identify inefficiencies? Have you optimized a process in the past?
And don't forget those magic words. Quantify your impact. Did you improve efficiency by 15%? Reduce downtime? Those numbers show you're results-oriented and that you understand the bigger picture.
Exactly. Think of it this way. You're not just an operator, you're a problem solver, an innovator. They're looking for someone who can contribute to continuous improvement within the plant.
This is fantastic. We're really getting down to the nitty-gritty here. But you know what? Before we jump into the next question, I think we need to take a little detour. We need to talk about something that can give you a serious edge in your prep. RoleCatcher's AI.
Ah, yes. The secret weapon.
Exactly. I've been meaning to ask you about that. Tell me more.
Well, it's pretty incredible. Their AI actually analyzes those job descriptions. So you're not just guessing what they're looking for. It helps you highlight the exact skills and keywords that'll make your resume pop. It's like having a personal recruiter tailoring your application.
So instead of sending out a generic resume, you're sending a laser-focused one. That speaks directly to what they need.
Precisely. And it gets even better. They have this AI-powered interview practice tool. It analyzes your video rehearsals and gives you feedback on everything from your answers to your body language.
Wait, hold up. It analyzes your body language too. So like, no more awkward hand gestures or slouching.
Exactly. It's like having a personal coach, helping you refine your presentation so you come across as confident and polished. No more ums and ahs, and definitely no more slouching.
Okay, that's a game changer for sure. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. We still have more interview questions to tackle. Back to the interview guide we go. Question 6. How do you stay up to date with the latest developments and regulations in the nuclear energy industry?
Well, obviously diving deep with us is a great start, but they want to see that you're committed to continuous learning. This field is constantly changing. New technologies, new regulations, the guide highlights attending conferences, workshops, even if you haven't been to any yet. Mention specific ones you'd like to attend.
And what about certifications?
Yes, definitely. The guide mentions a few key certifications. Earning those shows a real commitment to professional development, which employers value highly. You're not just settling for the basics. You're striving for excellence.
Okay, back to the hot seat. Question 7. How do you ensure the reactor operates within regulatory limits and complies with nuclear safety standards? I feel like this goes beyond just knowing the rules, right?
Absolutely. It's about understanding the WHY behind those regulations and how they translate into your everyday actions. You're demonstrating a deep respect for the immense power you're handling.
So instead of saying, I'd follow the rules, you could talk about specific safety checks, radiation monitoring procedures, and how you document every single step to ensure complete transparency and accountability.
Exactly. And be prepared to discuss the specific regulatory agencies that are relevant to the location of the job. Showing that you understand the regional nuances can really impress them.
All right, on to question 8, which kind of shifts gears a bit. How do you communicate effectively with other operators and stakeholders? This feels like more of a soft skill, but
in this environment, it's absolutely crucial. Remember, nuclear power plants are complex, with so many moving parts and people. Clear, concise communication can be the difference between a smooth operation and a potential disaster.
The guide emphasizes active listening, explaining complex things in a simple way, being able to tailor your communication, depending on who you're talking to, whether it's another operator, a supervisor, or even someone from the public.
Think of specific examples from your past, where you had to explain a technical concept to someone who wasn't technical, or when you had to resolve a conflict with a colleague. Show them you can navigate those interpersonal dynamics effectively.
And this is where I think RoleCatcher's AI interview practice tool can be really helpful, right? It can analyze your communication style and pinpoint areas for improvement. It's like having a communication coach right in your pocket.
Exactly. And don't underestimate the power of clear and concise communication, especially in a high-pressure environment like a nuclear power plant. Every word matters.
Okay, moving right along to question 9. How do you ensure that the reactor is maintained and serviced effectively? This is about being proactive, right?
Absolutely. You're not just reacting to problems, you're anticipating them. The guide talks about preventative maintenance, understanding the plant systems inside and out. You could mention specific procedures, like regular inspections, calibrating instruments, replacing parts before they fail, that kind of thing.
And what about record keeping?
Oh, that's essential. Detailed documentation is crucial. It ensures accountability, you can track trends, and identify potential issues before they become major problems. Again, it's all about that proactive mindset.
This is amazing. We've covered 9 crucial questions, and honestly, I feel like I'm almost a reactor expert myself, but I'm sure there's more. What's the final question they might throw at you?
Okay, so the final question. It broadens our focus a bit to environmental responsibility. How do you ensure that the reactor is operated in an environmentally responsible manner? This is your chance to showcase your awareness of the impact nuclear power has on the environment and your commitment to minimizing any negative effects.
Right. The guide highlights responsible waste management, minimizing radiation releases, adhering to those strict environmental regulations. It's really your opportunity to connect your personal values to the role.
Absolutely. You could discuss specific practices like the proper storage and disposal of radioactive materials, monitoring and treating wastewater, even minimizing energy consumption during plant operations.
And again, quantify your impact. Did you implement a program that reduced waste by a certain percentage? Those details will make your answer stand out.
Exactly, and it reinforces the idea that being a nuclear reactor operator goes beyond just technical skills. It encompasses a deep understanding of ethical and responsible practices.
Wow, that was intense, but so valuable. We covered 10 crucial interview questions, and I feel like I've gotten a crash course in nuclear reactor operations.
And we even got to talk about the power of RoleCatcher's AI tools for tailoring your application and practicing your interview skills. You're well on your way to acing that interview.
But before we jump into part 2, I think we all need a moment to process everything we've learned. Don't worry, we'll be back soon to discuss some key takeaways and offer some final thoughts as you prepare for your big day.
Welcome back, everybody. I hope you all had a chance to really digest all that info. Now, let's try to distill some of those key takeaways. From our deep dive into this nuclear reactor operator interview, it really is about so much more than just knowing the right answers, It's about showcasing your passion, your expertise, and that commitment you have to this incredibly important field.
Right, like we were talking about before, you can't just say you're passionate about nuclear energy. You really have to show it. And not just in a, like, science is cool kind of way,
Exactly. Interviewers want to see that spark, that genuine enthusiasm for the role and the impact it has. Think back to what drew you to this field in the first place. Was it a fascination with the power of the atom, a desire to contribute to clean energy? Or maybe just a deep respect for the safety protocols? Whatever it is, let that passion shine through in your answers.
And that ties right into the next takeaway, doesn't it? That continuous learning. This isn't the kind of field where you just learn the ropes and coast along. New technologies are emerging all the time. Regulations are always evolving. You've got to show them you're on top of it all.
Yeah, the career guide really emphasized that, didn't it? It's not just about those initial certifications. It's about going to those conferences, reading those industry publications, always looking for opportunities to learn and grow.
Yeah, it's like a poultry. Being a lifelong student, but in the coolest way possible. You're not just reading textbooks. You're actually shaping the future of energy.
And speaking of shaping the future, we can't forget about that game changer in your toolkit, RoleCatcher's AI. Honestly, the first time I learned about it, I was blown away.
Yeah, seriously. It's like having a secret weapon. The fact that their AI can analyze job descriptions.
Yeah.
And help you tailor your resume with the exact keywords they're looking for. Genius.
It really is, like having a personal recruiter giving you insider tips. And then there's that AI-powered interview practice tool. It's like having a coach analyzing your every word and gesture, giving you personalized feedback to help you really shine.
Yeah, no more stressing about whether you're hitting the right notes. You've got those data-driven insights to guide you every step of the way. Okay, so we've talked about passion, continuous learning, and the magic of AI. What other golden nuggets of wisdom should our listeners keep in mind?
Well, safety and compliance are non-negotiables in this field. Every single question, every scenario they throw at you, it all comes back to those core principles. Remember, you're dealing with immense power here. They need to know they can trust you.
It's not just about reciting safety protocols from memory, is it? They want to see that it's ingrained in your thinking, that you're always assessing risks and putting everyone's well-being first.
And that's where those real-life examples from your experience come in. Instead of just saying, I'd follow safety procedures. You can say something like, in my previous role, I noticed a potential hazard, and I took these specific steps.
Yeah, it shows them you've actually been there, done that.
Yeah.
You're not just talking the talk. You're ready for that responsibility.
Exactly. And we can't forget about efficiency either. Nuclear power plants are all about generating electricity and doing so in the most efficient and sustainable way possible.
So when they ask about efficiency, they're looking for someone who understands that balance between maximizing output and maintaining those super strict safety standards.
Right. It's about being a problem solver, an innovator, always looking for ways to improve those processes and optimize performance.
Oh, okay, we're hitting those key takeaways now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Passion, continuous learning, AI-powered prep, safety, compliance, efficiency, anything else?
One more, and it's a big one. Communication. We touched on it earlier,
Yeah.
but it's worth emphasizing again. Clear, concise communication is absolutely essential in this field.
Yeah, it's not just about talking to other operators. It's about communicating effectively with supervisors, regulators, maybe even the public. You need to be able to explain complex technical stuff in a way that everyone can understand.
And that's another area where RoleCatcher's AI can be a huge help. Their interview practice tool, it can analyze your delivery, identify areas for improvement, and help you craft those clear, concise, and impactful responses.
This is incredible. We've gone from feeling intimidated by the whole interview process to feeling like we can actually tackle it head on.
And remember, this is just the beginning. There's so much more to explore in the world of nuclear energy. So as you prepare for your interview, I encourage you to go back to those RoleCatcher resources, practice those answers, and really delve into the complexities of this field.
Yes, dive deep, everybody. Because the more you learn, the more you realize how much of an impact you can make. As a nuclear reactor operator, we'll be back soon for the final part of our deep dive, where we'll leave you with some thought-provoking insights to ponder as you embark on this exciting career journey. All right, we're back for the final part of our nuclear reactor operator interview deep dive.
So you've got the knowledge, you've got those prep strategies, and you've got that AI power-up from RoleCatcher. Now it's time to kind of shift gears a little and think about the bigger picture.
You know what's really fascinating about this job is that it's not just about the technical know-how, it's about being a guardian, a responsible guardian of immense power.
That's a great point. The career guide doesn't just focus on those skills and certifications. It really emphasizes the ethical side of things and the impact this role has on society as a whole. Think about it. You're harnessing the power of the atom. You're responsible for the safety of the plant, the workers, and the people in the surrounding community. And on top of that, you're playing a vital role in providing clean and reliable energy to potentially millions of people.
Now, it's a huge responsibility, but also an incredible opportunity to make a real difference in the world. And as technology continues to evolve.
Well, that raises an important question, doesn't it? What role will you play in shaping the future of nuclear energy?
Wow, that really is something to think about. The guide does mention how the industry is always evolving, with new reactor designs, new safety protocols, and even potential applications beyond power generation.
Imagine working on things like small modular reactors, advanced recycling technologies, or even fusion power. These are the kind of advancements that could completely change the energy landscape and help us address some of the biggest challenges we face.
Okay, I'm officially inspired. So what does all of this mean for you, our listener, as you get ready for your interview?
It means going beyond those technical questions and tapping into that deeper sense of purpose. Why are you drawn to this field? What impact do you want to make?
Let that passion come through in your answers. Not only will it impress the interviewers, but it'll also set you on a path towards a really fulfilling and impactful career.
And remember, even if this specific interview doesn't lead to your dream job right away, the knowledge and skills you've gained will be valuable in any field you choose.
Absolutely. Those critical thinking skills, problem solving, communication, those are all valuable assets no matter what.
So go into that interview with confidence, knowing you've prepared as best you can.
And keep that bigger picture in mind. You're not just interviewing for a job. You're stepping into a legacy of innovation, responsibility, and the potential to shape the future of energy. Good luck, everyone. And thanks for joining us for this deep dive.